Zealand and a few other places, the Pope just allowed a reading of the Quran in Rome, a combo Sunday message, if you will. We've had a rash of churches attacked, Christian churches attacked around the world with mayhem and manslaughter. I was just reading about 150 years ago or so, I don't remember the years, a whole bunch of Christian women were put on the cross in the Middle East by this same group of individuals, and you're right. We need to quit looking the other way, regardless of their ethnic background. If we put a flag on a police car and somebody doesn't like it, we need to tell that somebody, look, this is America. We love our flag. We're going to put it on a police car. If you don't like it, you have a choice. You can either shut up, or you can get out of the country, and we'll escort you to the border of your choice. We need to, like you said, we need to quit bowing down. That boy that was just threw off the third level at the Mall of America, it turned out that the perpetrator of that was a member of this group that has sworn for centuries to cause us all to either bow to Allah or be annihilated. It is pretty plain and simple. It's been going on for centuries. It is nothing new. It was the basis of the Crusades, which we're talking about, what, 600 years ago? I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't there, even though people say I'm awful old. I was not there. But it's plain and simple, Anthony. We have got to grow backbones in this country and draw lines in the sand and say, this is the way it is. This is who we are. And if you don't like it, you have a problem with us.
That's correct. That's correct. I mean, we can't go into other countries and tell them what we want them to do. We got, you know, when my family came here from Italy, they didn't come here to change the United States into Italy. They came to live as Americans with Italian heritage and reap the benefits of this country according to the rules and regulations of this country.
Well, that's right. And we need to tell all of the people that are busting down our southern border, all of the hundreds of thousands of the different faiths that are already here, we need to draw a line in the sand and say, look, you either assimilate and become Americans, or you need to go back out the same way you came in. I don't care who sponsored who, it doesn't matter to me. But if you're not supporting the country as a whole to make it better, you really, really need to leave, or push comes to shove, we need to send you.
Yeah. It's definitely, we have to go back to the original things that made this country a wonderful place to live and follow those rules, because that's how we are. That's what made this country great. And that's why, you know, they used Trump's slogan and said, well, actually it was Obama's AG, Eric Holder, who turned around and says, I don't know when the United States was great. So do you see that these people have been trying to take down this country on its, what the founding fathers wanted? And that's why we had all that freedom for all those years. As they tear it apart, we're going to get into something that we don't want to be.
Well, this has been a mainstream problem since World War II. We had the McCarthyism of the 50s going after the communist elements, and there's been multiple elements. problem is we have not taken the stick and drawn the line in the sand and say, cross this line, you will not like the results, and be hard-nosed about it. And we don't have to be problematic to those people. We don't have to cause them any troubles whatsoever. We also need to not tolerate any actions by any group, regardless of their ethnic or religious background. We need to not tolerate anything that does not blend in with the overall health and vitality of this nation.
Yeah, and that's what the problem is. Remember what Obama said and Bernie Sanders. They're going to change. Well, we're going to change this into what? That's what I want. What do you want to change this country into?
We know what they want to change it to. And that's what I'm saying. This has been going on for roughly 70 years with different factions with different motivations. But they're all headed in the same direction, which is the overthrow of the country. And we're behind the 8 ball. They got a 70-year head start. They're buried throughout our government, and I'm not saying we need to go on a headhunting search. But what I am advocating is, for example, if we have a representative or a senator that voices a threat to the President of the United States, they should be immediately relieved of their job and taken down to the courthouse and see what the courthouse wants to do about it.
Exactly right.
And then possibly deport them, or if they're homegrown, imprison them.
Yeah, you cannot.
We should imprison people and lock them up for 10 years here and then haul them to the country of their choice. Why should we spend our money for 10 years? We deport them immediately. If they are homegrown, we imprison them for whatever the term that our legal system would do.
Well, you know, part of the problem with the southern border is not from South America. Part of the people that they're finding coming across the border are from the Middle East. Now, why are they coming in and why are they hiding with the Hispanic community, which I don't know why we call it that, but it's a made-up word. Why are they trying to filter in with them? Because they got something to hide. And that's what the problem is. That's why we need to protect our southern borders.
Anthony, by any method that they can obtain admission into the country, they don't care if they're walking across the border, swimming across the creek. They don't care. I'm sure that they're also coming across the northern border. I'm sure they're landing at the various airports around the United States. They're coming in here with everything but motorboats, pedal pushers, and balloons.
How do you think that those two women in Congress, the ones that want to impeach the MFer, and the other one's talking about 9/11, how do you think they got voted in the communities they came from? Because that was a setup to send all of those people of one part of the world in that area so they could take it over.
So those people were voted into those districts because that particular ethnic group is the majority of that particular voting bloc.
And exactly, how did that happen that way? Who put all of those people in that community?
Well, that's somewhat a moot point, because birds of a feather tend to flock together, but they were embedded by the previous U.S. administration. But it goes back further than that happening. It goes back much further than that. The previous administration did actually things. That compound that's being built in West Virginia is a prime example of our government setting us up for failure using the taxpayers' dollar and impinging on the freedom of the existing American poor people that were living in that community. When they raised all of those houses and started building those beautiful apartments for the 150 families that were bringing in, which also plans include for some mosques to be built in that location.
All right, I'm running into a break. Thanks for the phone call, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Catch you ladies. You're having a really great show, and keep it up.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Support for KPFF comes from B&P Dirtwork. B&P Dirtwork offers all-purpose backhoe for driveways and fifth wheel pads, digging trenches, clearing lots and fields, and more. B&P Dirtwork is licensed, insured, and happy to work for you. More information at 702-540-0961. That's 702-540-0961.
All statements heard on this station are that of the program hosts, co-hosts, guests, and callers alone and are not necessarily those of this station or its affiliates.
Hello, this is LD, Lazy Dog Michael John. I'm going to host a show Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. called Lazy Dog's Front Porch. Why don't you come on by, crawl up on the porch, pull up a chair, and join me. We're going to have a good time. We're going to chat about this and that, everything else. We might even become interesting. We'll just see where it goes. Sunday night, 7 p.m. on KPFF.
Hello, listeners. Want to know what talk programs are broadcast by KPFF? The KPFF program guide is now on our Frump Film Festival website. If you want to see what's coming up this week on KPFF, just go to www.frumpfilmfestival.org. As programs are added or changed, so will the guide. That's www.frumpfilmfestival.org for the best talk programs in Pahrump.
This is Dwight Willie here. You know me from Friday night from 7 to 8 on KPFF 97.7 with the Dwight Willie Show. But guess what? I also have a Monday night show from 7 to 8 o'clock every Monday. New program, new information for you, the listeners. So tune into the Dwight Willie Show Fridays and Monday at 7 p.m.
on KPFF Pahrump.
This is 97.7, Parump's community radio station.
And welcome back. Our phone number to call in, 775-751-2579. I'm sorry, I was almost giving my home phone number. 775-751-2579. Okay. You know, I watch the news all the time. I look a little bit CNN and... Okay, we're going to get another call here. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Ray the Flag Man here.
Hey, Ray, how's it going?
Listening to the show, I remember back when I was a kid, it was probably before your time, they used to have Amos and Andy on TV. And it was a hilarious show. It was all black actors. And I think somebody with a lot of money, Sammy Davis or one of them, bought up the whole deal because they didn't want it showing anymore.
It was actually the guy that just went to prison, Bill Cosby. He bought all that stuff up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was funny. It was nothing racial. It was just like normal, everyday stuff, you know. And it was hilarious. I remember that. I was maybe about 8 or 9 years old when it was on.
I actually watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah, it must have been on for a while then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Son of a gun. And then you had the Jeffersons too. I guess they're going to put that one down because it was kind of comical on some of the things that happened. You know, Archie Bunker and the Jeffersons. It's going back. So, Anthony, you got to look at your whole life and saying, geez, if this is happening, it's something I did when I was 18 years old that's not politically correct and I haunt you or whatever. It's pathetic what's going on here. Even when I campaigned for sheriff this last time, I made a statement from when I was on stage. I said, look, this is way out of these Me Too movement where they're going back and saying, oh, when I was, some lady, when I was 16, this guy assaulted me or something like that, like they did with the justice for the Supreme Court. Life can't go on like this. There's going to be some kind of civil disorder if this keeps going on like this.
It's really sad. They're pinning all the different nationalities against each other. They're pinning women against men, men against women. There's a lot of companies, they're afraid to hire women now because they're worried about sexual harassment charges brought up on them.
That's right. It's going to be with the women. They want a level playing field, and it's actually going to hurt them that this is going on. That's what I see anyway.
Yeah, we got anything going on this week in the courts?
Not this coming week. It's another catch-up week. We have in custodies, and there's probably going to be a lot of in custodies, like there was last week. Last week it was horrendous amount. You had the U.S. Marshals teamed up with Boulder City, teamed up with Nye County, and they were making federal arrests, they were making state arrests, and they were making county arrests. And they would go out as a team. The parking lot at the courthouse would be loaded in the morning with all these coppers. I didn't know what was going on. They're all wearing bulletproof vests and that. I shook them up when Boulder City, when I walked out of my car with 2 guns on, they kind of like said, "Uh-oh, we got problems here." They didn't know who to flag me. But at the time, so that was kind of funny.
Boulder City is a federal city, right?
U.S. Marshals, they came in, and it's like what they call a joint jurisdictional task force, where different communities and the feds get together.
Okay.
So that's what they've been doing. I got a call from Richard Hamilton. His neighbor in Boulder City, because he's staying with his daughter right now, is Sandy Nelson. Did you ever hear of Sandy Nelson?
The name sounds familiar. I can't recall her.
Let There Be Drums.
Oh.
And your station really ought to play that one. I think it was back in the 50s it was popular. and this Sandy Nelson, he was, part of all these different groups. He was doing, different sessions with him and stuff like that. He had 15 albums out, according to Hamilton. And he wanted to know if I knew this guy. So when he mentioned who it was, he said, Sandy something. I said, Sandy Nelson, Let There Be Drums, yeah. So if you guys can pull that one up, I don't think you're playing it. I hear some pretty good drum records there, but something to look into anyway.
Okay, yeah, I'll look through the stuff and see what we got.
All right, I sat through Judge Wonker's court, and there was one guy named Beasley got put away, and his family went crazy in the courtroom, and they actually had to get some heavy, how would you say, bailiffs to stop it from happening, because they were upset that this guy, that Wonker, put him away. It was only for 3 years, but Judge Wonker got a little nervous because she left the bench then. She says, we're in a recess. How far it was going to go.
Right.
It might have went further than it did, And I said, I'm not going to get involved in this. You got 3 badges in the room, let them handle it.
Right.
I used to. If one time Lane had a fella said, can I hold my kid before, you send me off to prison, because he's sentenced, and Lane said, yeah. Guy tried to run with the kid. So I got out of the bench and I got in front of him. I said, I don't think so. He turned around, apologized to the judge and stuff like that. But that's when I was a braver guy. I don't know if I would do that anymore, when you run for sheriff time and time again, sometimes you got to at least make some kind of move, right?
Right. Well, at least he didn't run into you. He realized that he was, and you probably did him a favor, because if he would have got out of the room, it would have been another sentence.
Yeah, that's right.
So you probably did him a favor.
That's right. It would have been some hostage situation in the parking lot. He would have been doomed.
Right.
All right. So Richard Deutsch was up on appeal in front of Judge Wonker, and he and his lawyer presented the case that they wanted his Don Bass domestic battery conviction overturned, and Wonker wouldn't have any part of it. He had a fair trial. Everything that happened in court, that was talked about in court, it's all documented, and so she didn't give him anything on appeal. So maybe he'll go to Supreme Court. He was a cop, and he had problems with his girlfriend, and charged with domestic battery and actually domestic violence, because there was a lot of property destroyed too in the altercation.
Yeah, I actually knew her. I saw her in Walmart. I asked her what was new, and she said to me, "Oh, you heard about the case?" I said, "What?" And then she said his name. I said, "You're kidding me." She says, "No." Oh, he ripped the dashboard right out of her truck. So he went berserk.
According to part of transcript, he took her cell phone when he went in her apartment and threw it against the wall. and then he took a basket or something and threw it into the TV, broke the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was laying on the couch. She was worried about it. She had a gun under her, just in case he got too crazy, and smacked her on the butt, and that was the domestic battery.
Yeah, well, she has a young daughter that has nothing to do with him, and I know she'll protect her daughter. So, yeah, she said he got very, very violent.
Well, you can't be a cop if you can't carry a gun. So
Right.
he probably wants to get with some second chance department or third chance, because I think ours is second chance over here.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we got third, so that's what happened.
well, I have a friend that I talk to often, and he came to her house with 2 other cops when he was still a cop, and he told her, if you don't open the door in 2 minutes, I'm gonna kick it in. And she says, I'm trying to put my clothes on. And he says, I don't care, open the door, I'm gonna kick it in. And she has a handicapped son in the house, so she tried to protect him. But she was on the phone with me at the time it was going on, because she was scared. And she read his name, and I says, ask him if that's Ian Deutsch's brother. And he said yes. And when that question was asked, he started to calm down.
Yeah.
So he's got a bad temper. He shouldn't be a cop.
Well, it was also with Jerry Miller and his dog. He was the first badge on the scene. I think he was a sergeant at the time, and part of it was like a cover-up. He tried to protect the cop that shot Jerry Miller's dog, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of it, too. So anyway, that's what was going on, and this next week is just going to be people that are arrested, and I don't know if the U.S. Marshals and Boulder City is still going to be out for the next week, but surprised to see how many badges are out there making these arrests. And some of these charges, Anthony, there was one woman, she actually said in court she had 43 ranch kids. 43! They got her for selling drugs $75 for it. 75, she's up for a felony now. $75, and she got a return to 75.
Well, it's not the amount of, it's a felony because it's a drug sale.
That's right, the drug sale. So some of the stuff I saw this week is like the courtroom was just packed with people in custody. And I'm saying, you know, are there that many bad people out here? But since there's, you know, 3 different departments working on it, I can understand why all those people were there. Well, you're on a roll tonight, Anthony. I want to say, as you always finish, you know, I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Keep the faith, follow the people, thank God. Save the Tigers 4 times. And I want to wish everybody happy Easter from Ray the Flagman. God bless everybody. Ray the Flagman, over and out.
Thanks, Ray. Okay. So, you see, it's not the amount of drugs that were being sold, it's the drug sale is a felony. So, that's why it happens. And, you know, a lot of people, I mean, she's got 43 grandchildren, but, you know, she's trying to earn money, but you still can't break the law to earn money. You just can't do it. And you end up paying for it. It's just the way it is. Okay. You know, I wanted to talk about Nancy Pelosi. The last time I looked was a congressperson, right? And on the 18th of this month, she was in Belfast, Northern Ireland.